For today's headlines, hefty fuel price hike starts today. Palace backs shift to interview format. Sotto denies drop VP bid. Dengue cases in Baguio on the rise. Department of Agriculture vows more agri aid. Central Mindanao on high alert. Yulo targets 4 gold medals. Washington pledges $700 million Ukraine aid. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is April 26, 2022, and these are the latest news of this Tuesday morning. Pump prices of petroleum products have been increasing to the detriment of motorists already reeling from a global health pandemic. Starting today, April 26, oil companies will impose another hefty round of price hikes. In separate advisories on Monday, local oil firms announced an increase of 4.10 pesos per liter of diesel, 3 pesos per liter of gasoline, and 3.50 pesos per liter of kerosene. Laban Consumer Incorporated President Attorney Victorino Di Magiba already warned that the unabated jacked-up oil prices only sends consumers to the losing end, as it would further weaken the purchasing value of their money, especially those in the vulnerable sector. He said consumers need urgent financial help from the government and that yet the state leaders apparently closed the doors for any form of tax relief on the cost of goods. Apart from the temporary suspension on excise tax on fuel, industry stakeholders are also asking the government to have more teeth in managing and controlling the deregulated downstream oil industry. However, Department of Energy Undersecretary Gerardo Erguiza Jr. admitted that amending the decades-old oil deregulation law before the President Duterte steps down from office is unlikely. Malacanang on Monday said the postponement of the Commission on Elections town hall debates for presidential and vice presidential candidates was unfortunate, but it expressed support for the poll body's decision to shift to a panel interview format. Palace spokesperson Secretary Martin Andanar said adopting a panel interview format for candidates vying for the top 2 government posts in the country was still a welcome opportunity for them to explain their intention and agenda to the Filipino electorate. A senior palace official, however, expressed regrets that the initial debate format would no longer push through. The poll body had said the shift to a panel interview format was due to the inevitable conflicts in schedule amid the home stretch of the campaign period. Vice presidential aspirant and Senate President Vicente Tito Sotto III on Monday clarified that Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon has not asked him to drop his bid for the second highest government post. The clarification was made after Drilon admitted on Sunday that he talked to Tito for possible unification talks after his running mate's party, Partido Reforma, shifted its support to the presidential bid of Vice President Leni Robredo. Tito's running mate is presidential candidate and Senator Panfilo Ping Lacson. He said that despite their differences in terms of political party, he believes that Drilon will not disrespect him by convincing him to drop his vice presidential bid. The lawmaker also reiterated that Tarlac Governor Susan Yap's endorsement to former Senator Bongbong Marcos and his running mate Davao City Mayor Inday Sara Duterte was her own and does not represent the party. Yap is the leader and member of the National People's Council or NPC in the province, which Sotto leads. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Ako po ay kabahagi ng isang alyansa ng mga kandidato ngayong national elections na nananawagan po ng pagkakaisa. Ako po po si Sara Duterte. Handa po akong magserbisyo sa ating bayan. Hinihingi ko po ang tulong at suporta ninyo para sa pagka-vice presidente ng ating bansa.
Si Harry Roque pinaglaban ang karapatang Pilipinong mangisda sa sariling karagatan. Malaking tulong po na ibigay niya po sa akin.
Sa mga walang boses sa lipunan, si Harry Roque ang spokesman ng bayan. Attorney Harry Roque sa Senado, number 54 sa balota.
Kaming pinahirapan ng mga sundalong Hapon. Si Harry Roque, pinaglabang kami.
Sa mga walang boses sa lipunan, si Harry Roque ang spokesman ng bayan. Attorney Harry Roque sa Senado, number 54 sa balota.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. The local government of Baguio City has raised alarm over the increasing dengue fever cases reported in the region, even as the number of cases here has almost doubled. According to Public Information Office, Baguio Chief Eileen Refuerzo, reports from the City Epidemiology Surveillance Unit, or CSU, disclosed that there were 82 dengue cases reported by the disease reporting units in the city from January 1 to March 31, 2022. This is a 95.23% increase compared to the same period in 2021, said Refuerzo, referring to the 42 cases during the first quarter of 2021. The Baguio health official added that while there were no deaths due to dengue recorded, most of the patients were admitted to the Baguio General Hospital and Medical Center, and clustering of cases was observed in two villages, the Bacakeng Central and San Luis villages. She added that the CSU data shows that the youngest patient was 9 months old and the oldest was 68 years old. Meantime, Department of Health Cordillera Regional Director Rio Magpantay said that a total of 656 cases and 1 death have been recorded throughout the region as of March 26. He also alerted the city government on the uptick in dengue cases. Refuerzo, on the other hand, said that barangay officials have been mobilized to do an information campaign in their areas of coverage and to lead in the dengue prevention and control measures. The Department of Agriculture, or DA, announced that it is speeding up the distribution of aid to affected farmers and fishers even as damage from Tropical Storm Agaton's onslaught increased to 3 billion pesos. According to Agriculture Undersecretary Fermin Adriano, the DA has secured 5 assistance deliveries to the much affected sector, which include the 500 million peso worth of Quick Response Fund and 100 million pesos for credit program. It added that around 88 million pesos worth of the free seedlings for rice and various crops were set aside, while 13 million pesos assistance for poultry losses, as well as the delivery of agricultural insurance benefits, were already in place. State forces in central Mindanao were placed on high alert status following the explosion of an improvised explosive device, or IED, planted at the rear of a bus on Sunday. Joint Task Force Central, or JTF Central, Commander Major General Juvimax Uy disclosed that the IED was planted on a rural bus transit which was traversing along the National Highway of Purok Nangka, Barangay Making in Parang, Maguindanao at about 7:30 a.m. on Sunday. The bus was en route to Dipolog City when the IED exploded at the rear portion of the bus. Soldiers and policemen who responded recovered and defused a secondary IED, which was placed on the opposite side of the bus. Uy said that the explosion injured 6 passengers identified. He ordered the security forces in central Mindanao to always be alert and vigilant against the perpetrators of this attack and urged the community to continuously report any suspicious individuals, activities, and persons in their respective areas. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us.
PG Party List, kasangga mo, balot 108 iboto. PG Party List, boses natin sa Kongreso. PG Party List, kasangga mo, balot 108 iboto. PG Party List, basic good. Atin to, pagkaisa ng marinig ang mga hinaing. Young and active leaders sa Kongreso, ang boses natin. Tandaan at iboto, balot 108. To build and realize the projects we dreamed of. PG Party List, vote 108 na. PG Party List, kasangga mo, balot 108 iboto. PG Party List, boses natin sa Kongreso. PG Party List, kasangga mo, balot 108 iboto. PG Party List, basic good. Atin to, PG Party List, atin to.
Magandang araw mga katribu! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Atty. Lia Badillo Crisostomo, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chirk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas na ang mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Simulan natin ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments ng aming programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion.
You are still watching Tribune News on Q. Carlos Yulo will be gunning for 4 gold medals when he competes in the gymnastics competition of the 31st Southeast Asian or SEA Games. Gymnastics Association of the Philippines President Cynthia Carrion made the assurance, saying that the 22-year-old world champion has what it takes to dominate the biennial meet that will be held in Hanoi from May 12 to 23. Carrion said that Yulo's SEA Games gold medals will be coming from his pet event, floor exercise, as well as from other apparatuses like vault, parallel bars, and all around. United States diplomats will begin a gradual return to Ukraine this week, Washington Secretary of State and Defense Chief said Monday, as they announced $700 million in military aid during their first wartime visit to Kyiv. The trip by Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, which the United States confirmed only after the two had left Ukrainian territory, came as the invasion enters its 3rd month, with thousands dead and millions displaced. Presidential advisor Oleksiy Arestovich said that Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky met the U.S. officials Sunday as the port city of Mariupol's defenses were on the brink of collapse and Kyiv was in dire need of offensive weapons. Washington ordered the withdrawal of its diplomats in the weeks prior to Russia's February invasion of Ukraine, but has been leading the donor of financial aid and weaponry to the country and a key sponsor of sanctions targeting Moscow. And that wraps up the stories this morning, but before we go, we would like to thank the following: SM Store, Araneta City, Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, Empire Eastland Holdings Incorporated, and Overseas Community Affairs Council Member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista on Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. Download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS and Google Play for Android to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune invites you to join its vibrant community, Katribu, to get updates on the hottest news on politics, business, sports, lifestyle, and entertainment. Emoticons of the Tribune mascot Tarsito are available on our community Viber.